Let's talk about some use cases for AI for a window company. And hey, I'm Carl Stoy, the founder of Stoy Media, and over the past year and a half, almost 2 years now, we've been helping service businesses scale by filling up their pipeline with qualified people ready to talk, and we're a lead vendor and an agency, and we work with home service businesses. And I can tell you, a lot of them ask, and basically every single ad I see selling leads to home service businesses includes AI in there. And I want to be the one to tell you, AI is not as great as you may think. And first off, it's a lot more expensive than you actually may think. If you've ever heard of AI subsidies, I would recommend you check it out. But to give a long story short, essentially, all these AI companies are selling their tokens at really, really cheap just to get you to sign up, just to get market share. And once you're dependent, they switch it over to the actual cost, which is a lot more expensive. And I would recommend you look it up. But not only about the price wise, because if you get too dependent on it, well, you're going to end up actually paying what it costs, and it's a lot more expensive than you may think. But number two, AI is mainly decision making. The whole point of AI is to memorize a bunch of information and based on that information, make a decision. AI doesn't think on its own thoughts. It gathers the data you've given it and makes a decision. So there is a couple specific use cases that I personally recommend and have used, and will use for home service businesses to help out clients, to help out us. And there's two specific use cases which I can go through, but I first want to preface it, like I said, it's mainly a decision maker. So if you have certain things in the business where it's a consistent decision that needs to be made based on a set of data, then AI would be perfectly fit for that. But if it's something like scheduling crews, that may work because you have all the times, you have all the people. Honestly, you could do a hard-coded automation, which makes it way more reliable, which, by the way, AI sometimes makes the wrong decision. So it's not going to make a perfect decision every single time. So I'd recommend try and hard-code an automation. And by hard-code, I mean it's an automation that doesn't have AI. And hard-code an automation before you try and implement any AI into it. And if AI is the only last choice, then I would recommend. And there's only two specific use cases that I would recommend, will use, have used, and do use. And number one, that is AI follow-up. So it's really simple. It's just an AI that follow-ups with people. And just to add another one, an AI booking bot. So essentially, I wouldn't personally recommend, just to make a long story short, I personally wouldn't recommend that you use an AI receptionist because when people get on the phone, it's similar to having just an answering machine that says, hey, this is blank company. If you're looking for the production department, click this button. If you're looking for financing, click this button. Whatever. I can tell you one thing. As someone who drives calls and does sell calls on a pay-per-call basis and does drive calls to clients, essentially we generate calls. If they land on a phone that has an answering machine that says, click this number to reach this person, click this to reach this department, 99% of the time, actually we'll get a little bit realistic, 75% of the time, people don't even click a button. They just leave because they want to talk to someone now. They don't want to click on a button and then let it ring for another couple minutes just to speak to someone. They want to speak with someone right now. And so if you have an AI receptionist that is going to essentially replace your receptionists, big problem. Because people don't like that. People like to talk to people. And AI is not going to take as many blue-collar jobs as people think, or jobs in general. And so I can tell you, I have heard more stories of people implementing AI receptionists, and then the second someone gets on the phone with the AI receptionist, they yell human, or they're looking for someone to just talk to. That's kind of why I don't recommend AI receptionists. But a SMS booking bot is almost undetectable. It is undetectable. They pass the Turing test, which is essentially a test that makes it sound human, or a test that proves that it is human and could pass as a human. So an AI booking bot over SMS works pretty good. It's worked well for us. It's worked well for other people. It can work well for you too. And so having AI follow-up, meaning it's constantly following up with them, and a booking bot once they respond to schedule them in is a great addition to your tech stack. Now another one, this one actually it improves your sales processes, and that's an AI note taker. Now, there's a specific tech company that I would recommend called Plaud. I'll spell it out. P-L-A-U-D. We are not sponsored, but I recommend something like this, an AI note taker, where it can clip onto the salesman while they're with the customer, or it can be on the back of their phone, and record the full conversation, transcribe it, and give you an AI summary so that the salesman, or the sales manager, more specifically, the sales manager can monitor what they're saying, how they're saying it, and see if the AI has any improvements for them. The salesman can close that feedback loop because at the end of the appointment, they can get a message saying, hey, I would recommend that you deliver it like this. Say this instead. Oh, you missed this part. And I can tell you, I've made so many different videos for window companies using lead vendors. If you do not have a good sales process, it's just not going to work. No amount of leads is going to work. No amount of nothing is going to work. No amount of marketing. And so if you have a good sales process with detailed steps, what to say, when to say it, like things like that, which you need for a successful sales process. Now, I don't actually know that because we're the marketing company, not the sales, but I can tell you most companies that have a sales process have a very detailed, lengthy document or an outline for what the salesman should say. And if you can feed that into AI, use an AI note taker while the salesman is on that meeting, you can mix the two. Sales manager training, but faster. The sales manager can still look over all their recordings. So let's say their close rate it ended up dropping out of nowhere. Well, the sales manager can go through and listen to all the recordings and see, well, how is he delivering it? What's happening? Why is he having such a low close rate? Then the AI note taker could shorten that. The sales manager can still listen to all the recordings, but the salesman can get an instant feedback loop because the second the appointment ends, the AI sends the salesman a text saying, you could have said this, you missed saying this part, you should have delivered the amount like this is how you should have price dropped, like whatever it is, the AI can give that feedback a lot faster than the sales manager. The sales manager can still do the big tasks, like training them, but the AI can do the marginal, like small stuff, like here's what you could have done better, and nitpicking them a lot faster than a sales manager would have. And so that's really the basis of what I would recommend that you use AI in for your window company. But at the end of the day, AI is not as good as you may think, and it's a decision maker. It has data, and it makes a decision. A regular person can do the same thing. That's why people want to use AI, but also AI is subsidized, meaning it's not actually the real price. That $20 a month Claude subscription, that's not the real thing. That's not how much tokens actually cost. So I urge you, use AI in only the situations where you can't hard code a solution. If you're talking scheduling people, try and make a solution, not through AI. Like you can code something using AI, but N8N, Make, whatever, Zapier, whatever automation software you're going to use, try that first. Or you can code it with AI, but don't make AI the one who decides this person goes to this job, this person goes here, at this time, at this pay rate, whatever. Don't make AI decide that. Make it as manual as possible because someday you're going to thank me for making things more manual. I'm not a huge, bull run for AI. I'm not as bullish on AI as some people are. And I see basically every single ad promoting leads saying AI in it. But at the end of the day, it's important that you just prioritize making things as manual as possible because AI is not as helpful as you may think. And home service businesses do wonder, where can I plug AI into this business? Because there just isn't many spaces where you could. Yes, with marketing or content, or there's some certain things and specific tasks, but these are the two main use cases that I would recommend that you use for your window company. And if you have any questions, the comments are there for a reason. And if you're potentially interested in working with Stoy Media as a lead vendor and getting leads on a pay-per-lead basis, or working with us as an agency, then click the link in the description, fill out some basic business information, schedule a call, and I'll talk to you soon.